it's natural, but I think it's more of like the orderly way of society that makes it a more organized life.
Monogamy may not be natural, it's a choice. Do you guys think it's society's right choice? Do you think it's a bad choice?
When you come from a strong household and you see a man with true values and you see how much he loves his wife, it trickles down on your kids.
Absolutely.
Society puts this pressure on us.
Us as men? Or
as
us
men
people?
sometimes where it's like, you know, it's cool to have so many women. You know, I remember even hearing my grandma say like, you're a handsome man, you should have all these girls around you.
You only have one burner?
You have no gal.
In life, you have to go through things to figure out what you want. I look at it like a buffet, like, you know?
All these choices. No, it's fact.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but why you smiling at me?
That's just like a buffet.
Why you saying that with an accent, fam?
If we grew up and all we saw was husband and wife, and the husband loved the wife and was devoted to the wife, and the wife is devoted to the husband, would we never ever desire to have multiple, like would that desire ever enter our mind?
With commitment as men, it just boils down to discipline. Because even in monogamy, it's not like you turn your desires off.
I think that's a lie.
I'm not saying, we're not saying they're lying. I don't want to say they're lying.
They're lying, bro.
Welcome back to another episode of He's a Guy podcast. Question for you guys. If monogamy is natural, why do so many people struggle with it?
It's natural. Why do so many people struggle with monogamy? I don't know if it's natural. But I think it's more of like the orderly way of society. Like I feel like it provides order in society. It makes it a more organized life. Like it's like two parents have one kid and then they have another kid and they have another kid. It's like
Builds a proper family dynamic?
It builds a proper family dynamic. But like to call it natural, it's tough to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to unpack it. Let's get into it. On today's episode, we will be discussing monogamy, social constructs versus natural behavior, and relationship expectations. Let's dive into this. Now, this does apply to men and women, but as you guys can see, we are giving you from a men's lens. What is monogamy?
Monogamy is when two people enter into a relationship and they are committed to one another. And yeah, it's like a promise to, all right.
Correct.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I have the definition here, but you are basically spot on.
I just have the definition.
Let me hear that.
Monogamy is a relationship structure defined by sexual and emotional exclusivity. So you definitely are committing to a partner and it's them and them only. Now, I have some points here as why monogamy makes sense, but I want to hear from you guys. Why does monogamy make sense for the overall social construct? Why do you guys think monogamy works?
I think monogamy works in the sense that I think when you're managing, again, going back to when I was younger, having to manage multiple feelings and remember multiple conversations, you just get so caught up in. I think it's very frustrating because it's like, you have to remember all these intricate details about X, Y, Z. When you have one person, it makes it, I guess it brings you guys closer because now you're not focusing on 10 different people. You're focusing on, this is your favorite color, your birthday, this, all this, etc. And it just makes it more intimate and personal because this is your person. You got them, they got you. And yeah, you're just for each other.
Okay. What you guys?
I think it just provides, like I was saying earlier, like more order to life. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have your girl, you have your girl, you have your kids, and your life is sort of organized in the sense of like your kids belong to, you know who they belong to, you know who you're taking care of. It creates a society where it's like, it's just organized and easy to trace. Whereas like when you don't have monogamy and everybody's sort of like doing whatever, there's kids all over the place, no one kind of, it just creates like a disorganized type of society where it's like kids don't have their parents. And I think that's to me always the main concern when I think about like non-monogamy is just like it creates this messy situation for kids to not necessarily get what they need.
But okay,
You can
you know what? I'll keep it there for a second.
Yeah,
Fred?
Kind of like what he's saying. The word he was looking for is structure.
that is
Right.
the word. Yes.
Just having different households, different family, kids all over the place. I also believe it puts a lot of like anger in children that don't know the situation
Yeah.
because they were never told,
Right.
right? So just having, for me speaking personally, one household, you know, goes a long way than having to like provide for this household, that household, and then it just like the structure becomes very messy and everything just gets messed up.
Okay, now taking away from the family dynamic, remember, monogamy is a committed situation between you and a partner,
Yeah.
right? So I could still be non-monogamous or poly or whatever the case is, still have a household with only one child. I don't have to have a child somewhere else. So does that mean my structure is now messy, or can I still be a father over here but still have partners?
monogamous relationship.
Yeah. But because of the situation that when he said different households,
Yeah, for sure.
that's what I was going off of.
Well, yeah,
But
that's
of
why I asked
course-
a new question.
Of course, because like realistically, it's called life, right?
Mhm.
You might be with somebody, give them your all, it doesn't work out, but you guys had a child together, right? And then
Or not even so much that, not that the ending, but I'm saying like I could have a partner here
yeah,
and a partner here. It's just with that partner over there, I have a child.
it's like I was saying, and then like you guys are obviously not together anymore, and then you.
Oh, I'm still together.
But
But that's what I'm saying. That's what non-monogamous is, right? Like I'm not exclusive to this one partner. I can still have multiple partners. I just only have one child here. You see what I'm trying to say? So do you guys feel that kind of muddies up the situation? And if so, why?
I think because oftentimes, like, why it's looked at in this way is because a lot of times that people have a hard time managing their first situation, like
Right.
their first romantic relationship, and then they're engaging in others, and if they're not even taking care of their first situation and they're engaging in other ones, it just creates a lot of bad situations, right? I think there is a case though where people can be like non-monogamous and it works, where there's like an openness with everybody, everybody's kind of in the know, everybody kind of understands, but usually that's not the case. Usually
Right.
it's like, I was watching this Manosphere documentary on Netflix the other day, and the guy was talking about like, yeah, it's one-way monogamy. Like
Usually, yeah.
I could do my thing, but
It's not an open
my
relationship.
wife can't.
Right.
And that situation is sort of messy. That can get messy because it's like when one person gets to do whatever they want and the other one doesn't. And it can just create this friction in relationships that ends up just leading to like just everybody being dishonest to each other in society.
Absolutely. I think so. The points that I have here is emotional stability and deeper connection. When you're in a monogamous relationship, those are two things that you could definitely look to, or you hope to look to with one person that you can trust with those things. Which leads to the second point is trust in partnership. You may just be going around and, meeting this person and being with this person and that person, whatever, but that's usually surface. You're not usually building a connection or a deeper emotional level with somebody. And then the last one is discipline over impulse. So when you're usually around everywhere, it's just because you're doing what you want to do, not with the right intention. You're doing things out of impulse. Versus being monogamous, you're working on discipline and understanding why you're here, what you're doing, and what it's for. Challenging the idea, though, what we hear today is, I know a lot of men struggle with hearing, especially when it comes to like sexual needs, that a person is tired, or on a woman's side of things, it's like they're tired of managing the household. No matter if they pay, the man may be paying all the bills or not, it's like they're managing all of one thing that involves so many things. So challenging the idea would be like one person can't fulfill everything. So if they had multiple of something, like multiple partners, they feel like certain areas now get broken down and somebody can handle which whatever. And then the other thing is, like I said, going back to the main question, if monogamy is natural, why do we fall short so often? And we lean into that a bit by saying monogamy may not be natural, it's a choice. Do you guys think it's society's right choice? Do you think it's a bad choice? Do you think it's just to each their own? Personally, I think it's to each their own.
I would agree with that.
I don't think it's a right or wrong thing. I think whatever works for you and how it works, it's not for everybody, but if it works for you, then it does. So that's what I think. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I would say for to each their own, but I don't know. I just think, I guess it's one of those things is just having that one person just to be there to count on, and it just makes it that much more special, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, I think if multiple people are doing things for you, and like to your point where you're like, wow, somebody can fill that void or whatever. I mean, like, I think it was Kevin Hart. I heard say it about like the 80-20 rule. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes you have 80, the person's doing 80, but are you really going to go in search of 20
To give up that 80 almost.
to give up that 80? And I think that's, I don't know.
I think I wonder why like society puts this pressure on us, and like
Us as men? Or
as
us
men
people?
sometimes where it's like, you know, it's cool to have so many women.
Mhm.
You know, I remember even hearing my grandma say like, "Where's all your girlfriends?" And it's like, "What? You're a handsome man. You should have all these girls around you."
You only have one burner?
Yeah, I'm not gal.
Facts, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I wonder where does that association with that being success or making you more of a man, where does that come from?
The videos.
What video?
Yeah, when you see the music videos, any type of video, you always see the good-looking guy, rapper, whoever it could be, singer, always surrounded by what? Beautiful women, big
Multiple
house,
of them, facts.
cars, right? It just, when you're like good-looking person, I believe that everybody believes that, like, you know, you should have it all. So that's where I believe where that comes from. I could be wrong. That's just what I believe. Now, to actually answer that, I see both sides.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say I see both sides is because, and hear me out before you guys answer. When you come from a strong household and you see a man with true values and you see how much he loves his wife, that trickles down on your kids,
Absolutely.
right? Now, everybody goes through their own situations in life, right? Some people didn't see their parents together, so they just, my mom was strong, my dad was strong. I don't need nobody. I could do it by myself,
Right.
right? But they always say, like, you know, when you have a strong partner, like going back to that 80-20 rule, you're not gonna give up your 80% to go now try to rebuild and find, no, we could work on this and make it work. So, and then I could see the other side, like where it's like, you didn't come from that at all. This is what you love to do. You love to be with multiple women. You don't really care to be with anybody, but it might change for you later down the line. So that's why I could see both, because I was once that person that, you know, been with different women, didn't want women, whatever the kid, not like that. Let me tell myself, not like that. And then I found my wife,
Yeah.
right? I don't need all that anymore, right? Because she's not like the 80-20 rule, like we're 100% together, like we're in this together, right? Until she leaves me, eventually she will, but
Don't say that.
Why would you even speak that?
because I'm a tough one to deal with. I say that to her all the time, though. Like, you know, it's a joke, but
Yeah.
so that's why I say I get both sides,
Yeah.
right? And then I also believe with a lot of guidance, right? And when I say guidance, it goes back to me saying like that strong man in the household, regardless of how he's feeling, he's still there for not only his significant other, but for his family as well, right? Thugging it out, even though he might at that particular time might not want to be in the situation, just keep going, right? So then what do you see as a child? You see that strong man, knowing that, yeah, he could have left, he could have done this, but he's still here, he's still fighting for us. So you see that, and then you're like, you know what, I want to be, because most people, to our kids, who's our hero?
No.
Right? So I hear you talk about your dad being your hero all the time, and you guys as well, right? I don't want to say my dad wasn't my hero, but he wasn't. You know, and that's just some real shit right there. He just wasn't my hero.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe if he was in my household and I saw him all the time, yeah, I'd be like, that's my hero.
Yeah.
My son tells me I'm his hero. Like, nigga, I ain't no hero, but to him I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just those little things like that.
So going to now what Tashawn had said with social constructs of it being like, why is that pushed onto men? I even want to broaden that a little bit and think like, how do two things of the same social economy like kind of exist, right? Like the idea where monogamy is a thing, but then they also push the idea of multiple men. Or sorry, multiple men, but multiple partners.
I was about to say, whoa, I'm
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Multiple partners, like 4 men. So it's like, if men are going to be with multiple women and we okay this, how do we now also push the idea of marriage and monogamy in the same social environment?
I don't think both narratives are necessarily pushed to the same
Demographics. You mean gendered?
Well, both. Well, like, yeah, like women, I don't think it's pushed to them. Maybe more so now, but I don't think it's pushed to women like, yo, you need all these men. Like, it's not, I don't feel that's a narrative that's really pushed to women. And then for men, like, I feel like.
No, that's not true. I feel like it's okay now. Like, it's okay to date. Like, in this society today, the liberation of women, I think, I mean, obviously not to the multitude of men, but the same thing that can be said, I've definitely seen where it's like, you know, even in music or and different podcasts that I've seen where it's now okay to date multiple men until you can find that one and settle down.
Yes, but I don't think like it's pushed the narrative of like spend your whole life with multiple men. Right. Whereas like with men, it's like, yo,
you never really have to settle.
Nah, just live your life. Like you're a guy. Like you'll always be a guy till you're
dead.
Pretty much. Right? But I don't know if that narrative is pushed to the same groups of people. Like I feel like I feel like especially with like Caribbean and black men, like there's a different narrative than I feel like I see with like, and I don't know if it's like what's being pushed by the media, or I don't know if it's just the family structures are different, kind of what like Terrell was pretty much referencing. It's like, is it just because the difference of family structure? Like if we grew up and all we saw was husband and wife, and the husband loved the wife and was devoted to the wife, and the wife was devoted to the husband, would we never ever desire to have multiple, like would that desire ever enter our mind? And when we see it, we're like, that's just nonsense. Like
I don't think so, because then you have, you know, the Seventh Heaven families, or you guys know that show, Seventh Heaven? You guys ever heard that show before? Damn. All right, so you know that magical house, great family, but then father and mother still have an affair with the pool guy or the personal trainer, or like, so I don't lean so heavily on the family dynamic, more so than it being that's what is okayed for men and not so much okayed for women, because you get called a hoe. And man can be called a hoe as well, but it's just like, it's detrimental.
I was I don't think they care when they become.
Yeah, it's not detrimental. It's like kind of almost championed. So, I mean, again, I don't want to make it a black or white thing, because I mean, it's given a fancier word, affair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like instead of it being like, oh, we cheated, they had an affair. It's not us. We didn't name it that.
I think when they say I have an affair, it's because they're more so married. If you want to be real.
Fair, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It goes back to the family dynamic that we're talking about, where it's like, yeah, man and women in the household joined to marriage, and then it's like, well, they're still doing the same thing we're doing.
But I can't imagine, like, when I see like my white friends, I don't think like when they're young, I don't feel like they have their uncle being like, how much pum pum you fuck? Like, I just don't feel like I just don't feel like they're hearing that. Like I'm not
there.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I feel you.
So what are they saying?
Huh?
What are they saying?
Tyler, you're gonna grow up and have a wife one day.
Yeah.
I just think the narrative is different. Like I feel like, especially with Caribbean, there's something. I don't know about Africans, because I didn't really.
Well, they're not black too?
No, I didn't read, like, I don't know I don't know the narrative as well.
Got you.
What is being said in those households growing up. But like, I know from like the Caribbean experience, the story is like, you need to have lots of women. Like that shows people, prosperity.
Not those people. Africans, those are the first people I've ever heard that talk about the multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? Like to have that be the okayed.
Is that every African though? Or
no.
I was about to say that's only certain cultures.
Tribes, but that's African. Africa's a continent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So depending on where you're from in that country, obviously I can't pinpoint, but I'm saying African as a whole, since we said it, that's the first time I've ever heard of multiple wives being the okayed situation, you know?
Yeah. But I would say, like, just to that point, like, I think a lot of times, like, having multiple women is rooted in trauma. Like, in a lot of cases. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm a healthy person and I'm truthful and I'm honest and I'm living this upstanding. Like, it's usually like, it's rooted in like something happened to you. You saw something, you endured a lot of pain growing up in one way or another. And that's kind of how you express it. Cause that's kind of feel like that was me. Like when I was talking to all these women, I think it was like, I was just hurting, searching for like something, some kind of love that I did not feel growing up. So it's like, that's where I feel like it was rooted in for me. It wasn't like, yo, this is so healthy and I want this for the rest of my life. Even though I feel like people around me never thought I'd get married. They never thought like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I think it was, for me, it was just rooted in trauma. It was like, it just felt like all I knew, and it felt safer to not give your heart to anybody and just kind of be with everybody than it was to put your heart into someone else's hands. Cause it's like, I didn't want to do any type of heartbreak. We talked about heartbreak before.
Yeah, we did.
And you know how that went.
Yeah. So do you guys think men just have a problem committing? Like, what are some of the challenges that we face?
I wouldn't say they have a problem committing. It's just like when I'm just analyzing, it's they like what they got now, but something just swang on by and they're like, you know what, let me see what's up over here too.
Right.
So then they're like analyzing both situations.
What they could get away with almost.
You see what I'm saying? And then that's when now the problem starts to happen. Because like if you got away with it right here and then, you know, they're letting it slide and letting it happen, then it's like you're gonna keep
pile on
it.
Okay. I think some of the challenges we face, obviously, like we said, is it's a social norm almost to a degree where it's okayed. Where it's like, yo, we see it almost anywhere. Like you said, rap videos or shows that get produced. You see it in the workplace, such thing as work wives, work husbands. It's almost anywhere that you go, right? Especially today's society. Today's society is probably the worst when it comes to commitment, right? Today is a lot of freelancing going on. So that's what I see when I see like challenges. Even for myself, like it's something that I know I would, or I do struggle with, where it's like, again, my discipline for having one woman is tough, right? At times, especially when it's like certain things that I feel like I'm explaining or trying to come across to her, aren't met. So now it's like, she won't do this for me, and I'm doing all this for her. It's like it becomes like a selfish mindset, a selfish gaze that you're looking at. And again, it's not rooted in any honesty at all, right? Like you're doing things sneakily instead of just being honest about your stance and where you might be in your mind frame, and then let chips fall kind of where they may. I think a lot of people would be better off in that sense. But of course, that's easier said than done. So I think a lot of our challenges with commitment as men it just boils down to discipline. Because even in monogamy, it's not like you turn your desires off, right? Like you just said, like somebody walks by, you still might be attracted. Your attraction still lives, right? But now you have to have the discipline to kind of be like, yo, look, this is where we're at.
Someone,
yeah, you know what I mean?
But I think it does. Sometimes it does just die. I feel like in life you have to go through things to figure out what you want. Like, you know, I look at it like a buffet. Like, you know,
all these choices. No, it's facts though.
No. You go out there. There's all these choices until you find the one that's for you, that makes you like, okay, you know what, I like this. Right. I'm gonna keep going back to this. And yeah, it sounds crazy, but why are you smiling at me?
That's like a buffet.
Why you saying that with an accent, fam?
You said go back and place back. I said it like that. It's like a buffet, you know. But
you said it real suave.
Suave. Nah, but you know what? Like I don't know. Like I think there's two sides to that. Like obviously I think there's two versions of that discipline. Kind of what you're saying. There's the people that are like, I don't see nobody else now. I love my wife.
Okay, go ahead.
Some people say that. I don't know if I fully subscribe to it, but people say that. I don't think I believe it. Nah, because it's not like that for me.
Right.
Like I see things. I'm like, holy, but yo, Nah.
Shit, we see things
Yeah, but
together.
there's
Your
no-
partner.
That's different than
You and your
being like,
partner
I don't
see
see
this
nobody because
So it's saying they're lying to themselves. They're just saying that to make.
No,
to
they-
make
I think
it
that's
feel
a
better.
lie.
I'm not saying we're not saying they're lying. I don't want to say they're lying.
they're lying, bro.
I don't think so. Because I have heard people like, yo, honestly, I used to be attracted to that. And they can acknowledge
Nah,
that.
but I think that you can still look at somebody and be like, wow, that's a beautiful girl. Like if you know what I mean? That's
but
not
still attraction. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying, Steph?
What I'm saying is the discipline to now not go ahead and pursue that. Yeah, that would make you the level of what you're talking about. But what I'm saying is even in discipline, your desires and your attraction do not, like, they're not something that you just turn off. They still live. So I think that's what Tashawn's.
Yeah,
But some
that's
people
what-
say the attraction dies.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, yo, I have my,
I don't believe it dies.
I'm in
Yeah.
love.
Right.
That's-
I don't
yeah.
even see anything else because that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife. I hear people say it online all the time. Like,
Right.
I don't see, and I don't believe that's true.
At all.
I don't believe it's true. And I believe the discipline, there's also levels to the discipline.
Talk to me.
Like there's the discipline of, you know what, that's very inconvenient for me to do it. Like the girl just walked by, it's inconvenient. That's one level of discipline. There's another level of discipline where, you know what, you have an interaction with the girl, sorry. No, like I have a wife at home. It's another level of
I'll
discipline.
talk to you about that in a second. Go
Then
ahead.
there's a level of discipline, like you keep seeing this girl over and over again, and she's like, hey, should we connect? Like, I think there's levels to it. There's some people that can handle like the inconvenient discipline where it's like, that's inconvenient. I'm not gonna do nothing.
Right.
But then like, there's certain people that are never in situations to handle pressure. And that to me is like, that's why there's like scales of discipline. Cause it's like, if you're being pressured every time, like you're in the NBA and girls are at your room and this and that, and then you're still not doing that, that's a different level of discipline.
So they say that, right? Because I've seen that on social media as well, where they say now, like, show me somebody who doesn't cheat, and I'll show somebody that's never like been pressed, almost essentially. I don't know what the actual phrase is, but essentially is like you're only as loyal as your options, essentially. So if you don't have many options, you're not so loyal, or so you are the most loyal. But once the options start rolling in, that's when your loyalty's tested, and that's where we'll see what type of loyalty you really do have. And that's, again, today's society of whatever's going on, right? Now, what I did want to ask, based off of what I heard you say, right? Because I do hear that a lot in society, is the sorry, I have a man. Sorry, I have a girl. What do you apologize for?
Apologizing for it, yeah.
I hear that so often.
You think it's misleading kind of thing?
Absolutely.
It is.
Because that's leaving like a door open,
open.
essentially.
Yeah, it should be.
I didn't think that. I would have crushed this 5 years ago.
No, but I'm
No,
saying in the attempt that somebody hollers at you, man or woman hollers at, again, a man hollers at a woman at a bar. And she's like,
Sorry, I'm married.
sorry, I'm married.
It shouldn't
What are you
be
sorry about?
Yeah, it shouldn't be I'm sorry, I'm married.
It should be no, I'm married, or it should be a sorry. Like even me saying naturally, the sorry. Why is it sorry?
It shouldn't even be a no thank you, right? Because it's like you're still being polite about it. It's like you set the ground and the barrier. Like, listen,
You see what I'm trying to say?
I'm married.
Like, what are
Yeah,
you apologizing for in that?
You're right. I was apologizing for her. Like, sorry. Like, I was like more so like,
But
you
why
can't have this.
Right.
No. But why are you
So you
concerned
may be.
about their feelings though? It shouldn't be that way.
Right, but so okay, let's say you are, but that's exactly what Juice just said. It does become misleading because now to the other person, it's like, sorry, what you mean? If I press a little harder, if I show you this or I show you that, would she bend or break there, or would he bend or break there? You see what I'm trying to say?
Pause.
You know, I never thought of that because like, so when I was at
Partners out there, though.
I was at a comedy show on Friday
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go get a drink.
Mhm.
And you're right, I might have mishandled that because I'm in the line and this girl's behind me. I'm like, oh, sorry. She's like, oh, I'm just behind you. I'm like, oh, okay. And then after she's kind of like making all this noise up behind me, and then she kind of comes beside me. She goes, I just want to know, like, do you have Instagram? And I'm like, sorry, love, I have a girl. Whatever. I thought nothing of it. Went and bought my snacks, went upstairs.
Most people don't, so I'm not faulting.
Thought
anybody.
nothing of it, you know? And then I had to go to the bathroom, so I had to leave again. So I go to the bathroom, now I come out the bathroom, the girl pulls up, she's like, so where's your girl? Your girl's not really here with you. And I'm like, look, listen, I have a girl. Stop. And she laughed, and she kind of just walked away. But maybe if I was firmer in the beginning, and I was like, no, I have a woman.
You don't have to
Say
be
it
that.
like that.
The way you said it, you're like, no.
No,
Halt.
no, I'm not saying bad up the thing. I'm saying you just be
Yeah.
firm.
Right. And
I wasn't
instead
firm
of
though.
sorry.
I was kind of gentle. It was kind of like, nah, sorry.
Like,
But there was two
Consider some-
things that were wrong in there.
Talk to him.
Oh shoot.
Talk to him.
It was the sorry
Coach him up.
and then the love.
Come on. Sorry, love. Imagine.
No, continue.
Why are you giving me a pet? Why are you giving her a pet name?
I might not have said love.
Now you said it.
No, I don't know if I said it. It was
Said it
sorry,
here.
I have a girl.
They're seeing it.
I didn't say love. I said sorry, I have a girl.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even in that phrase, and a lot of people don't notice it. So I'm not shaming anybody that does say that. And they may not really think anything of it. However, that does become like a sore spot to now discuss, because what are you actually sorry for? For their feelings? For their attempt? For what?
And that's what made her feel like she could try again.
Like persistence, right? Like you might be like, oh, I'm just not in the mode right now to be dating anybody. Now
I
she's
see
pushing.
both sides though. I mean,
Or she probably
you
just
could
thought
say
you were trying
yeah,
to
you could say sorry, you could
Same.
say yo, I'm married. It doesn't like sometimes it doesn't change the outcome. They're just like,
I agree with you, but I'm saying for your sake,
for you.
what are you apologizing for? Is what I'm saying. Even if you're just saying it in passing, you're really not sorry about anything then. So what are you saying it for? You know what I mean? So
so
You
the
just trying to
correct
be polite.
the correct thing is to say
I just have a girl.
I'm married. I have a girl.
Yeah, anything. But all I'm saying is to drop the sorry, because even if you're not sorry, then why are you saying sorry?
They're saying sorry to be polite because you don't necessarily want to hurt the person or let them down easily, but at the same time you shouldn't care, because if you're in a situation of any sort, married, girl, whatever, it's I have a girl, thank you.
But I feel like you can still do it gently without saying sorry.
I appreciate you coming up to me, but no.
I don't even know if your girl or woman's man out there would be appreciative of you being like, I appreciate it.
Thank you for the flattery. I have a girl.
Mhm.
This is flattering, but I have a girl.
That's cool too. It's flattering because you actually might be flattered. Who knows? But
Yeah, you are flattered.
Yeah.
The girl try to holler at you. Like, oh, okay.
I still got it.
Still got it.
But isn't the same thing as saying sorry?
Nah, Aisha Curry said it's not.
Well, I mean, I don't think she's the.
She's definitely not the spokesperson for that, but you know.
What if you hit them with I appreciate you, but I got a girl?
Well, you appreciate the looks.
Nah, she came up to you.
That's what I'm saying. The look to like,
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Give your head
but I got
nod?
a girl, yeah.
just give her a head
Why you
nod.
said it
No,
with
she
an
just a
accent?
dap you.
Why you say that with an accent?
You can give her
I
that.
don't know. I said,
Yeah,
been searching for that.
yeah.
Try to get me
I
back.
got a
yeah?
girl. Yeah,
That's hard though.
What?
What if
You
she
can
tries
dap
to
her like,
dap you?
yo, good looks, but
No, anytime you dap a thing, they know what's up. They know what's up. It's like when a girl when
What if it's a hood
when you then
got trouble on your hands?
yeah, you might have to give her your number at this point, because she might back it out on you and say up the number. But it's like it's the same thing as when a girl says to you love.
Yeah.
Anytime a girl says love to you, oh no, sorry, love, she sunned you.
Yeah.
Move on.
You think so?
So Tashawn, I see what Tashawn was trying to do. He was trying to sun her, but homegirl didn't take that as
Yeah,
love,
that's what I'm
because
saying.
when it comes from a man now,
Mhm.
it's like, oh yeah, he's interested.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Giving her pet names.
You-
Like,
you
yeah,
know-
so-
She thought like this guy can't resist me.
Exactly.
I mean, you
She
showed her.
came
you gave her
titty out,
love.
everything. There was just a lot
Titties
going
out,
on.
and you called her love?
You're in trouble.
Boy, oh boy.
I think she might have got preferential treatment. Now that I'm looking at
See
it,
what I'm trying to
because
say?
yeah, you're right. I should have been, because the way she looked might
Any
have
other
determined
night?
my politeness.
Right. Any other night, if she was burst, you definitely would have been like, you would have breezed that for sure.
She knew what she thought. He's just getting his snacks. I'm gonna see him again.
Yeah, facts.
And you got the snacks. She saw you again. She tried again.
Yeah,
She definitely hoped to double down on it still.
yeah, 100%. But you're right. There's a better way to approach that.
It's tough, brother. It's tough.
If jealousy didn't exist, would monogamy still be common?
You said would it still be common?
Do you think there would be more relationships that are open or multiple partnered?
But do you think that jealousy is what drives people to be monogamous?
I think in today's society, people are only monogamous on one side or the other. It doesn't have to be both people, but one partner or the other is only monogamous because that's what their partner would like them to be. Until they figured out themselves that that's not for them.
I don't know.
There was no jealousy. Would everybody be more
Would-
inclined to be monogamous?
Right. Would commitment to the exclusivity of one person still be as common?
So you're almost suggesting that a lot of people are monogamous because they're afraid of the fallout from not being it.
Yeah.
I think monogamy would still be prevalent. I think that, to be honest with you, the feeling that you get from that one person that, you know, like I said before, just has your back is one of those things that you just can't.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't exist though. It just means whatever you need from another person, you could go still fulfill. And I'm only saying this to be a devil's advocate in that moment. But what I'm saying is like, it doesn't mean that doesn't exist. You could still, majority of the time, be with one person or be with that person because they mean more to you. You could live over here, but then go see somebody over there.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't feel like jealousy drives people to be monogamous. I don't feel like somebody's saying that.
Huh? No, me either.
Yeah, I don't feel like you're with somebody because, oh, I'll be jealous if they talk to somebody or they do something else. You're with somebody because of them feeling like the other part of your heart for you. Mm-hmm. They're doing, and they're with you through thick and thin. They're doing this, they're doing that. They just make you whole. I don't think jealousy is the controlling thing. I think that's your person.
I think if you love someone, you just love that person.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you feel like, okay?
I don't necessarily think it's like, you know what, I don't want him to have anybody else, so because it's gonna be a jealousy type of thing. No, if you love that person, it just boils down to it's just straight love.
Do you believe you can love two people?
Now you're trying to get man's in trouble.
You said give up the real, yo.
No, I'm gonna talk. Me personally, I've never loved two people at the same time, so I can't really speak on that. Mm-hmm. The political thing to say, but no, I'm just messing with you. But me personally, if I had to like really think about it, maybe you can. I can't say that
you can't.
You can't. You know what I mean? But me, I haven't. Mm-hmm. I haven't loved the same two people at one time. Mm-hmm. I never crossed that bridge. It's never happened to me. I only loved one person and one person only.
Right.
I think, you know what? Okay, so to the jealousy conversation, yes, I now, from hearing their answers, I sort of agree. I also
sort of agree. What's your hesitation on the fully?
No, I'm inclined to agree. I agree.
Okay.
But what were you thinking before that?
I was thinking like, is jealousy a big part of what keeps people monogamous? Because it's like, yo, if my girl didn't get jealous, I would step out and talk to, or just have a 1-2 here and there.
Yeah. So let's rephrase that.
But that was my initial thought. But then I went. It's not only about jealousy. Like there's another concept of betrayal.
Right.
Right. And I think that's the bigger thing here at play than it is jealousy, because like when we go outside of monogamy, it's almost like we're breaking the agreement that we had.
Correct.
And now you're betraying somebody. So it's like jealousy is a part of that soup of what happened, but like it's not mainly jealousy, it's betrayal. Like, and if jealousy did not exist, betrayal would still exist. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if
I want to rephrase it.
Yeah.
So if someone gave you the openness to, not you, but generally, if more people gave the openness to now the freedom to do whatever, do you think more people would still choose the monogamy or freedom?
I think people at first might take that opportunity
to figure out for themselves.
Yeah. But I think ultimately you might return back and be like, you know what? Like, yeah, that's cool. It's fun. But like,
so not that I disagree or don't agree. I'm trying to open up the conversation a bit, where it was like, even with jealousy, I don't think the question I have posed was because of jealousy within it for now betrayal to not exist. What I'm saying is, before that, I feel like men or women will be like, no, you can't do this if you're going to be with me because this, I don't agree because of whatever X, Y, and Z. So people enter a relationship saying to you, you know what? If I really truly value this person, I'm going to adhere to their asks and their wants, even though that's something that I'm still not ready to commit to as yet. But I know if I don't capitalize on this moment of being with this person,
I'll lose it forever.
I might lose it, even though I might not personally be ready. So that would lead. The reason why I asked it, because it leads to my next question of, do you think people get into committed relationships for the wrong reasons today versus knowing themselves and having the right mind frame to get into something?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I completely agree. Like, I think the thing that happens in a lot of relationships, that the step people obviously miss, is like identifying what each other's values are and seeing if the values align. And a lot of times, sometimes we hide the values we don't align with in hoping that we still keep the person.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, where someone's like, no, I value someone who's only with me forever. And you're looking at it like, that's the one thing that I might struggle with, but you know what?
Everything else I can.
Everything else I rock with. So you know what? I'm gonna pretend like I could do this till I can, or maybe I can't, but
Right.
we'll see where it goes.
Right.
And I think that does happen to a lot of people.
Right.
Right. And that's what ends up in problems where like someone's like, yeah, I could be with just you. And they get in a relationship, and it turns out they really just can't. And then they switch up and say, maybe we'll do an open relationship, and it turns into, it ends up never working because it's like your values were never aligned in the first place.
Or they were never honest.
Or you're never honest about your values in the first place.
Right. Right.
Right? But like, to pose a question back to you, is it non-monogamy if two people are in a relationship and they love each other and one of them says, you know what, there's times where I just want to step outside, but like, are you okay with that?
I think it's non-monogamy.
Is that non-monogamy?
I think so. Because you're not exclusive to one person anymore. You're not committed sexually and emotionally. Just by definition. You're not committed emotionally and sexually to one person.
Because it sounds like there's people who have healthy, like swingers, for example.
Absolutely.
Swingers just be,
Because
they're committed to
identify
each
sex
other.
as sex.
Huh?
Be swinging.
They be swinging.
Because they identify sex as just sex.
Sex is just sex to them.
Right.
Are we seeing that as non-monogamy?
Some people do.
That's
a
a good
commitment.
question.
To them,
By
I guess
definition,
that's
yeah,
by
yeah.
definition. But it wasn't it. What was the definition again? Sorry.
The definition is
Sexually
a relationship
exclusive?
structured, defined by sexual and emotional exclusivity. So both.
Yeah, so then in that case,
It's not.
it's not monogamy.
Well, it's monogamy for them.
But that's why I said, is it to each their own?
It's an agreement between them,
Between
but
them, yeah.
it's not going what the definition says.
By definition.
Yeah, because I always think a relationship is always an agreement between two people.
Pretty much.
Whatever the agreement is.
Whatever the relationship is. But we don't often define what makes the relationship the relationship. It happens in friendships too.
Yeah.
I know you and I know you're my friend because what? Because you call me sometimes, because we hang out sometimes, but we might have different definitions. Like you'll say I'm a low maintenance friend. So I never have to call you. You'll have no doubt that we are friends. But if you never call me, I'll be like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? Like you don't call me no more?
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing in relationships, but relationships, in all relationships, I don't think we always define it and check in all the time.
Right.
So it's like we enter a relationship and we're like, yo, this is what a relationship means to me. It means you don't talk to no other women. You don't look at nobody else. You don't, and everyone's like,
I can get with that.
or you assume that it's what it is, and the other person's not on that same page. And
Right.
then we have
Absolutely.
conflict.
Absolutely. Because I hear different definitions for cheating, or what men could assume cheating to be versus what women assume cheating to be. So
Like, what is cheating? If that girl came up to me and said, can I have your Instagram? And I'm like, well, I'm on social media. Like, yeah, of course. I do social media. You take my Instagram.
But somebody would be like, yo, why would you give her that?
Would that have been okay?
Right.
Depends who you ask.
Right.
Right? In all instances, I would never do that. I would never do that. But
but if you're giving her your Instagram for the sense of like you're getting your followers because that's what you do, you're a content creator, there's really nothing wrong with that. Now it goes into,
You'd have to explain your intention though.
I was about to say, what are your intent? As long as you know what your intentions are and you explain to her like, yo, this is not going anywhere, but you can follow me or whatever the case maybe is. Me personally, I don't think anything's wrong with that.
Mhm.
Because this is what you do. It could be a business opportunity later down the line. Like she might work somewhere that you might not know, right? As long as it's straight business and you don't have no intention to do anything that you shouldn't, then I think you're good.
I think it's subjective, like he said. I think it depends on the person because she might still view that as cheating. She's already,
Can't. And I'll tell you why. You know what he does.
absolutely. But like, if she
Still
came over
comfort.
with the intention, like, yo, I think you're
To
good
do more,
looking. I
right.
want to holler at you, and he's like,
more.
whoa, baby, or what is it, love?
Love.
baby, yo, you're grimy, dog. I would have said baby, brother. Holy smokes.
It sounded like that.
Whoa, love. You know, I have a girl, but you can follow me still because I'm a social media presence. She'll be like, yo, she already told you
What her intention?
what she wants from you. Why would you, like, you know what I mean?
So I would agree with Juice on that because there's a lot of times on either side, man or woman, we tend to call our partner naive for situations happening and you overlooking them, right? How many times do our girl be like, yo, that girl was hitting on you? Like, nah, that's just my friend. Like, or just random. She's not. And then 2 weeks to 2 months or whatever down the line, it turns out to her pursuing or trying to do more. And then you have to go back like, oh, yeah, babes, you were right still. Sorry about that. Or vice versa. It'll be like, yo, a man is hollering at you. No, you're just being polite. no, babes, I'm telling you that guy was hitting on you, and she doesn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, eye of the beholder type of situation. I agree still.
Yeah, I'm at the point now in my life where I look at like, okay, what would be the impact of me getting this girl's Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
What could it potentially do to my girl, and how could it look? How could it look to everybody on the out? Like, I have to analyze all these factors. How could it impact her? How could it look? How could it be interpreted by others? How is this girl going to think now? Now she has access to me potentially. Like, there's just so many. I looked at it. I'm like, there's more cons for me
pros, yeah.
for me doing this exchange than pros. And like to Freck's point, there's a time I would have been like, yo, this girl, who knows who this girl could be connected to? It actually could be a sick connection. But it's like I've never found that connection it never ends well. Not for me.
Comes with some strings.
That's true too.
You know what I
Like
mean?
if it's not what she wants, and all that connection gets lost in it.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair. Okay. Do you guys think modern dating apps have changed how we approach commitment?
Absolutely, it's a buffet, bro. But yeah, no, I think it has, right? Because now it's like I think in the past we talked about like accessibility, and it's like, all right, you don't like me, all right, cool, and then on to the next, right? There's no the pursuit is not as people are not as hungry for the pursuit anymore because it's like, all right, cool,
It's not like grass
swipe. There's another one right there. Swipe. Okay, cool. You're not into me. But I think it's changed the landscape overall. Like I feel like people don't value like really getting to know people. It's more of like an aesthetic, like, oh, how does this person look with me? Like, and again, on to the next if you're not the one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's created disposable dating.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, in my short stint of being on a dating app, it was just kind of like you. All right, I'm gonna message you guys, see who responds first. Like
That's what we take serious for now.
Yeah, like it's like it turns into like a assembly line.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what dating has got to, and it's like it's really become messed up.
Yeah.
On both ends. Like I was even talking to some young kids these days, and it's funny because like I remember growing up when it was like the men weren't serious. It was just like, oh my God, these guys are talking.
Now playing feels kind of even. Eh?
Now it sounds like it's reversed.
Really?
Like now the women aren't serious. Like now the men are complaining, being like, yo, I'm trying to date this girl. She's just kind of like,
blame them though.
She's just,
We can't blame them though.
We can't blame them, but I'm just saying like the landscape has changed.
Right.
But dating apps have not helped that.
Right.
Where I feel like there was a time like, I really wish I grew up in that like that 90s era where it's like you had your pen and paper, you had to meet the girl, call her.
You never had that?
I don't think I had a pad.
Black book still.
I don't think I had a book.
I didn't have a cell phone for a while, so I was house phone guy.
But it's just like the work you put in to meet somebody.
Definitely.
It was like work.
Definitely.
Whereas now it's like you could do a couple likes and DMs and you could meet up with someone tonight.
No, I definitely, like you said, it definitely made the pursuit more worth it. That way, like, you're even if it was multiple, it was just like there's no way that you could be calling, because like I said, I'd be holding up the phone on my house phone. I'd be holding up the phone for an hour talking to one. It's like I can't do that again at my age, holding up the house phone, doing that to another one. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, no, it definitely made the pursuit a lot more worth it just because you were zoned in and more intent with one or follow up that one though. Does religion or tradition still play a role in how men shape their relationship choices today? How do you guys feel? Did it ever? To you guys?
Say it again.
Does religion and or tradition still play a role in how men shape their relationship choices today? Or did it ever for you guys?
I think for men, absolutely. Did religion and tradition shape my choices? Yes, in two ways for me. Like the tradition part for sure. When I look at, my choices in my younger ages, like talking to everything, it was tradition. It's like, that's what I saw my dad do. I saw my dad talk
back to what you guys were saying earlier.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, it was just what it was. And everybody was like, yo, your dad's the man. So it's like, it reinforces it even more. And it's just like, that's just all I saw. My grandma saying, yo, your dad is, like everybody's praying. This guy's my hero.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all I saw. So the tradition was, it's like, yo, you gotta have girls. Like that's just what you do. I don't even know if it was conscious for me. It was just like, that's just all I kind of knew.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it played a role, but then it also played a role in the fact where you get to the point where you're like, sometimes the model of what you thought you wanted can become the model of what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like that model of like, you see this and you get to an age of maturity, you're like, oh, I actually don't want this.
Right.
I do not want my life to be, I don't want to be 60 and single. I don't want to be the uncle at the party talking to 5 things who are 30. You know, like I just didn't see that for myself. It just felt grungy to me.
Absolutely.
So it was like that was also like the model of what I didn't want. So I believe it can play a factor in showing you exactly what you do want, but it could also be a factor in showing you exactly what you don't want.
I think today, ironically, I'm seeing a lot more of our generation, or let me speak for me, I guess my dynamic. A lot of people that I know have gotten back into church, a lot more focused than what I've seen in previous years. So it's inspiring to see. And even in that, it's just like people are I guess getting back to the essence of that thing, being the leader of whatever their relationship, also letting it guide them in their relationship as well. And in tradition, totally 100%, I believe that is something that controls a lot more than we allow it, or we allow ourselves to believe. And that's something that you have to, again, go back to self-awareness with, because a lot of people don't go back that far to think about how their childhood or what they've seen has really shaped them. So I definitely do believe that it does shape our relationship choices. What I will say though is I think because men and women are at a different like growing stage, I guess, that like the time for women at a certain age is like they're looking to be settled in or whatever by like that early 30s age. For us, it's like we're kind of hitting our financial prime, our legacy prime, or whatever things to kind of shape whatever we're doing. So again, we'd have to be a little bit more intentional as men with our dating stages between, let's give a mature age, I guess, 24 to 29. I guess a 5-year gap in between that age though, like where it's like from young adolescence of 16 to 23, you do what you need to. Wherever, if that's a real relationship, cool. If not, you're doing your thing single. But from 24 to 29, I think men need to be a little bit more serious about what we're doing, because by that time of 30, we're kind of like, again, we're now starting to hyper focus on what we're doing. And because we're hyper focused on trying to build something for ourselves as men, the relationship thing becomes stressful, right? And that's another additive on top of the other things that we are focused on with stress. So I think for me, that's a thing that I've been thinking on as well. I don't want to have the stress of multiple women. That was a lot of work. You know what I mean? So I think by this age now, I'm 34. So it's like for me to still be out here and I have to make a conscious choice for me. And that would, help benefit my life going forward. So I think that's one change I would now look at that I didn't do, that I would now go back and be like, yo, if I could tell something to the younger kids or younger adult men, it would be that, to kind of get more intentional in those age ranges. Because I think that also shapes why we have such a tough time with commitment. We don't take this shit serious. We just are doing it.
You gonna say something?
I was going to say, I don't think that, like, even at a younger age, we even realize the power of having a good woman by your side or
Facts.
person that believes in you. I feel like it could supersede all your dreams and aspirations, because, I mean, you just have that person to rely on.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, to your point where you're talking about religion and, was it? Religion and
tradition.
And tradition. I see both sides of it. I've seen a healthy side where, like you said, a lot more people are going to the church. I've seen people kind of just get into relationships because that's just what
it's convenient.
It's just what it was, because, 2 people in the church and let's just do this just because. I don't want to speak on it and speak any negativity on it. But to me, I feel like it's also, that's not really that healthy, because you're not really
doing it for the right reasons almost.
Yeah. You're almost doing it to abide by tradition and religious reasons. But like to the tradition part, I do love the aspect of like, not necessarily like, throwing parties and whatever the case is, but it is a tradition as like this person emulates I don't want to say your mom, but like somebody that can make your household whole and make it into a home. So I would say on like that aspect, like tradition is important, especially for me, because now this person is going to come in and fill that void to make my house feel whole, be a good mother, and treat me kind of right. So,
Absolutely.
I think one thing that you said, Steph, that stood out to me was it was about like speaking to the young man, like your younger self.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree that like I asked myself like what if I hadn't spent all that time
And locked in? Facts.
you know what I mean? Like what if I wasn't spending all that time talking to all those girls, all these women, like what like where would that have energy have gone?
Mm-hmm.
And how could it have benefited me in a different way? You know what I mean? Or at the same time, what if I spent that time like really committing and going all in on somebody? How much stronger would that make me in future relationships? You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I look back to my younger self, or if I was advising anybody who's younger, it'd be like, either focus on you during that time or lock in on
One and see it.
Go hard. Like, not to say that has to be your wife, that it has to work out, but like, if you go all in and two people are going all in, you'll become a better person from it. Like,
Regardless how it ends, yeah.
regardless of how it ends. But that's what I would probably go back and look at and examine, because it's like, I feel like I wasted so much time.
Facts.
Not to say it's a regret, but it's like talking to all these girls, doing all this, driving here, driving there, late nights. It's like, what if I put that into me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna counter that.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm gonna counter that, you said your younger self. I'm gonna ask you, what age are you thinking when you say your younger self?
The same ranges that Steph was talking
24
about.
to 29?
24 to 29-ish.
I was even talking about like 21 to 24. Like
21 to 24. Okay.
That's what Angel, you're talking about?
Yeah, even like when I'm saying I wouldn't
just
even
say
have
early
no
20s.
in university. It's like, nah, you're not here to have no girlfriend.
But that's
Yeah,
what I was about
okay.
to tell you.
Like-
Okay, but that's what I was about to tell you, because how many of your role models or anyone older than you, your OGs, anyone ever told you, yo,
You don't need no girl?
you
I
don't
think
need,
two.
you don't need no girl, focus on you right now and da 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 da. No one's telling you, yo, find one woman and stay with that one woman forever. No, they tell you that as you get older.
Right, but they
Make
did
sure
tell me a variation.
Yes, they did. They told you, make sure you find the right woman to be your wife and to be in your household.
No, not for me.
Not for you.
What I'll say is I'll count, not even so much counter. I agree with what you're saying. I think the only difference is, personally for me, is what I was told was, don't worry about finding the right woman. Women will come.
Mm-hmm.
Go have fun. That's what I was told. You
Yes.
see what I'm trying to say?
It's
So-
kind of like the same lines as what
Right.
they're saying. And
Right,
don't focus on no one woman.
Right.
Go focus on yourself.
right. And women will come.
So that's why.
I was confused by that though.
Right. We were all confused
Yeah, I
by
was
it because
confused,
it's one of those sayings,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like, as you get older, now they tell you, make sure you find the right woman.
Right.
Right.
It switches that
I
fast
think,
too. It's
I think
crazy.
at such an early age, though, it could also be detrimental. I think there is
Absolutely.
a perfect time, but like, I mean, I've seen so many people be like early age that played basketball or whatever. Oh, that's my girl, man. You whatever. You're not focusing on anything else because you're so young and your mind is so like,
Locked in on something. Yeah.
yeah, like you're young. This is what you're all about. You've been, I'm not coming to play ball with the homies today because, I hang out with my girl. I'm going to do this because, I got to hang out with my girl. And I think it is important with timing. And as crazy as it is, like, we've talked to multiple girls, whatever the case is, I feel like you need to go through that because you need to figure out what
It's for you and what
is
isn't.
for you. And yes, like obviously in the multitude of how much you do, yes, that's where it gets sticky. But I
Right.
do truly believe, like, for example, like Christy and Desmond, those guys have been together since they were
High school.
high
kids.
school.
Yeah.
They don't know anything else. How do you know what you like or what you don't like? Because this is the only thing that you've ever seen.
Yeah. You're ever evolving.
I think I disagree with that.
Which part?
I would have agreed with that in the past. The concept of like you have to be with lots of people in order to
I didn't say lots of people, but multiple people.
even multiple. I
think-
disagree because I think like if you know yourself well enough, you'll be able to know if someone's for you or not.
When does that happen?
When do you know yourself?
Huh?
When do you?
If you've done the work to know yourself.
Well, you have to explore.
You
That's what I'm
would-
saying.
You don't have to explore to know yourself. You could
Sean,
just
you would know yourself by the age of 22, 23. I think you just
So-
found yourself the other day. And it's not
No,
a diss
no,
thing.
no, but
It's not. It's
but-
really not. We all can't say we found ourselves at 22, 23. I was lost. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was lost. I was just going with the flow.
And you're supposed to be.
I think both of you are saying the same thing, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think what
I'm not saying it has to be multiple women. I'm saying that journey of getting to know yourself could be like, yo, I went to school, I locked in on ball, I traveled, I did all these things, I spent time. It's like, yo, actually, I love being alone for me, and I know who I am and I know myself. Then you meet somebody, you're like, yo, that's my person.
No, perfect.
I know me.
Perfect. But I think similarly, he's still saying somewhat of the same thing, where it's like at a certain age where it's like you don't know yourself, so you go find yourself. It may not involve women, and that's what he's talking about. It's like at that age, you might be too impressionable from your relationship that you're not able to find yourself. But also, I think with him saying multiple women, it doesn't mean that you're dating all multiple women at the same time. It could just mean like, yo, I dated one for a couple months, I didn't like what I saw here, move on. I dated another one, I see what I like.
No, I wasn't saying multiple. Yeah,
I could agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he defined it to be one thing. I just said like, you don't know what you want by only dating one woman at that early of an age. It's like you still have to be out here dating, and whether that looks like one person at a time or it's multiple at one time, he's not giving you the blueprint of what to do. He's just saying you will not know at that age this one person is for you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because there are examples where, yes, one person did that, and he gave an example, Christy and Desmond, and then at a later time, it's just like, interest got lost or it changed direction. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I feel like you guys are both saying the same thing.
Yeah,
you're right. Like everybody needs an exploratory phase where
Right.
you explore different things and try different things. But I think when you said multiple women, I thought you're crushing 6 things at the same time, and it's like,
I think
I got to do all this to know
What's
what's.
this word crushing?
That's the first time I said it today.
You find that?
but I think like you've had the girlfriends in your life for a reason, to teach you what you need to be taught. Like you say, a season or a reason or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah, multiple relationships do help. It's just, trying to balance when those multiple relationships happen. So yeah, some of the takeaways I have here are monogamy is a choice. It's not a default mode. You're choosing to be committed to somebody, and you got to do the work to make that happen. Mm-hmm. It's not about one woman or one man. It's about agreement and honesty. Again, find what works for you and makes you happy. Self-awareness and honesty are the key. You guys think about takeaways? Anything else?
Yeah, it was well said.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Like I feel like we really
echoing, and you said it real well, brother.
Really covered it. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like I think communication is key in all relationships, and understanding like your values and the intersection of them. Do our values align? And if they don't, where can we find that common ground?
If not, don't waste nobody's time.
You know what I mean? If not, don't do them. If monogamy is not for you, don't do it. But a lot of times I feel like if it's not for you, in most cases it's rooted in trauma.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, get your He's the Guy link merch, bro. We have a link, right? We have something. Put that out to them.
No, we have a link.
Yeah, we have a link. We gotta put that. We gotta push that somewhere. Yo. Get your He's the Guy merch. New year. If you don't have something, that's crazy. We've been had it from last year. That's a joking. Anything else you're trying to promote? Put your basketball team out there, guy. You're a coach now.
Yeah.
Doc just got fired.
Nah, I'm not gonna go to the NBA yet, but if they need me, holla. Team is all in gray. You can find us. What's our Instagram? I think it's all in _X gray, or it's all _X gray. I don't even know. It's one of the two.
Doc.
We'll put it in under the
Yeah, promote that stuff. You
U10. We just had provincials. It didn't go the way we expected. But you know what? I noticed everybody was scared to play us.
Come on.
And the reason why I know that is because when we're playing a game and we have every other team watching and cheering against us, lets me know I'm doing something right.
Come on. .com barber services. Holla at me. Celebs. Your regular everyday man, 9 to 5. I'm here for you. Children. Open that back up for the kids, them too, but nothing younger than 6.
Why?
They be wilding in the chair, gang. I'm not for that.
All right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And people be telling me now they can sit. You're lying. It's going to be stress for me and you and the kid.
My son's 2. He needs a cut.
Can he sit? I can give you. I
He
can
sits
give
by
you.
him. He sits.
I can give you some tools. Like there's an app that you actually have like the buzz sound. You can play it by his ear, see if he moves. I'm dead ass. So anyway, you guys are serious? Holler at me. Anything else we want to promote, madam?
No, not for today, man.
All right. Again, from us to you guys, make your choices, yo. Do what's right for you.